Hey everyone, how you doing? I thought I'd go live because I'm actually testing out my new desk. So I built a new desk. It's 2 meters by 80 centimeters. It's quite wide, electric standing desk. And of course, when you rearrange things or you get a different desk and then you rearrange your monitors and your lights, you've got to test everything out again. It's been a bit of trial and error just to try and get it to look the way I want. I'm always a little bit suspicious over, do I want to have this as bright as it is currently, or do I want to darken it? It's always a weird one. You play around with it and you're trying to get it around. Old Fat Trucker, how you doing? Is the volume low? Is the volume low? Really? It's coming through. I mean, it sounds like it's okay, but please, Ontario, is the volume okay? Hey, Talkies World, how you doing? Can anyone let me know if the volume is a little bit low? If it is, I'll boost it up a bit, but just let me know how you're finding the volume at the moment. Might be because the mic's not completely near my mouth. It was low. What about now? Gain is low. What about now? No, the gain is actually okay, but it might be. So I'll say it again. 1, 2, 3. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Is that any better? Is that any better? There you go. That might be better there. One of the things about dynamic microphones, because I slightly adjusted the hey Mel, not seen you for a while. Um, I just moved the microphone, so if the microphone is pointing towards like just below my chin, you won't get it. It's like, look, if I talk like this, can you hear the difference? If I talk like that, Hammer, do you think it's a bit low as well? That's a bit weird. Why is it everyone saying it's a bit low? So I'm going to boost it up a little bit like that. I'm hoping that's better. But yeah, anyway, so I adjusted the, well, new desk. The lighting now has gone a little bit more that way. So I had to test out the footage and everything like that. But yeah, so far, so good from what I can tell. And also, I've installed a new Chrome extension. So now, if I go and do stuff like this, you should now see your name pop up. Can you tell me if you think that is big enough, or would you like to see that made bigger? Not better, bigger. So right now I'm showing up some comments on screen. Do you like the size of that, or would you like the wording to be bigger? Because I'm using a free Chrome extension, which now allows me to select my YouTube comments. A tad bigger, Mel says. Yeah, let's go. That's what I was thinking as well, actually. I had a feeling, I was like, I think like it could do with it being a bit bigger. I think something like that should be all right. There we go. We'll go with something like that. So at the moment, what a lot of people do is they use third-party tools sometimes to show their comments, like on screen. Whereas now there's a free Chrome extension. It's been out a while, actually. Rubin, how you doing? It's a free Chrome extension, which means once you've installed it, the minute I go to YouTube Studio to stream and I have the comments down here, I can click on any comments and it appears on screen. So there were third-party tools you have to pay for. This is a free Chrome extension. So hey, why not use the free Chrome extension? And I just got today, it literally came 10 minutes ago and I haven't even taken it out the packaging properly yet. But because I'm using a new 4K camera, and my Mac Mini M2 Pro is only 512 gigabyte storage, which has always been enough for me. But now that I have like a much better high quality camera, that means I can take higher quality footage, 422 10-bit. If any of you know what I mean, you'll know what I'm talking about. And so God, the packaging on this is so stupidly weird. Like, look at this. It's like you have to hack into it. Anyway, I've got this. There we go. I've got this new SanDisk 2 terabyte. No, sorry, yeah. No, this is the 4 terabyte. Sorry. No, this is the 2 terabyte. What did I do? Changed my mind last minute. 2 terabyte SanDisk SSD to plug in. But this is the Thunderbolt 4 or USB 4 version. So this is the one where your write speed is this going to be clearer. Can you see there? 3,800, 3,700. Now, you'll never truly hit that, but that is way faster than the standard USB 3 port. So I'm looking forward to plugging this bad baby in so I can store much more higher quality resolution videos, because um each video when you just to give you an idea, right? A 6-minute video will be 40 gigabytes when you go for like 10-bit 422 high resolution, like proper, like crystal clear. 40 gigabytes when you export it. Olfact Trucker, have you used Claude or Gemini CLI? Not really. I've gone into them, but I've not really used them properly. Mainly because I have other things that I like to use, and I haven't got like massively into that side of the coding side of things at the moment. Ruben says, what are these Chrome extensions? So the Chrome extension you want to be using is, let me get the name for you. Let me get you the name. What you need to do is do a search for this extension. I'm going to add it into the chat. Hi, by the way, how you doing, Robert? Good to see you here. Go and do a search for that. I've just realized I've got to do something on the settings. Hold on a moment. I've just realized there's something not quite right with the browser of this. I've just got to make the height of this be a little bit biggity bigger. There we go. That's better, because it wasn't showing the length of the text for some weird reason. I think that's probably better now. Yep, cool. So live chat overlay extension from the Chrome web store. Go and have a look at that, and you should find it. It's free to use. Cosmin, 40 gigs for a 6-minute video, and I'm watching this in 360. Well, I mean, so normally when you export maybe like in the HEVC or the H.264 format. And then the 6-minute video might be something like, give or take, like I don't know, I'm estimating here now, maybe 1 gigabyte it might come out as. If you go for the 422, which is now ProRes, right, it will jump up to 20 gigabyte. If you go for the 422 10-bit high quality, and we're talking like proper hardcore, really good quality now, it will work out to be about 40 gig. If I went for the 444, right, then it would be 60 gig, but my camera is not 444. My camera is 422 10-bit. And for anyone that doesn't understand that, don't worry. But for anyone that understands camera resolutions and videography, 422 10-bit is brilliant. And that's what I'm streaming in now. So for any of you that are watching on YouTube right now, if you go down to the settings at the bottom somewhere down here, you will see the option to select 1440. So we're not even doing 1080 now for live streaming. We're now in the 1440 era, which is like 2K. Yeah, 1440 is 2K. 2160 would be your 4K. So for anyone who cares or doesn't care, that's what you may want to look at. Right, let me just get that bit off screen. Alessandro, how you doing? Nice weekend. It's been an eventful weekend, mainly because look, just to put things into perspective, in the last 9 days, I have spent, how do I explain this? In the last 9 days, I need to do a calculator just to make sure I get this right. So in the last 9 days, I've spent £900 on a camera, £375 on a Sigma lens. Then I had to get the Elgato 4K cam link. Then I had to get a few extra wires. Now I've just got this 2 gigabyte USB 4 Thunderbolt SanDisk SSD. That has set me back 275. On top of that, I went and got this brand new desk because I thought I might as well get a brand new desk as well. Why not? That cost me 269, 2 meter by 80 centimeter electric standing uppy downy desk. What else have I bought? Oh yeah, the stabilizer gimbal over there. Swapped out my old one. In a way, No, shall I add that? No, I will add that cost. That costs another 160. It's the Insta 360 Pro. You can just see it over there. Pro Flow 2. And I also bought no, I think that was it. I think they're all the extra little bad boys I've bought. Yeah. So my total in the last 10 days is £2,069. And to give you an idea of what that would be roughly US dollars, that's $2,834. I didn't want to spend that, right? I really did not want to spend that, but it's what I call the annual upgrade. So you know when like you've worked out what your taxes are, your accountant's told you, and then you get your dividends and all of that. And then I go, right, I want to save X amount. And then I got this little bit to play with. And what I always like to do each year is invest back into myself. Some people would say, hey, I'm just going to go on holiday. You can do that. Or I'm going to redecorate or get a new car. You can do that. The way I looked at it was, how can I reinvest in what I do here to take the quality up a level? Um, Using the iPhone was great. Using the iPhone was fine, you know, for footage, but the 4K was never really truly crisp. And I now appreciate why. I now fully understand why, because it increases the bit rate, but it's like 1080p plus. It's never fully 4K, never fully. This camera, the Sony ZV-E10 Mark II and Sigma 1.4 aperture lens and all of that, 67mm, blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, I forgot to add in the diffusion panels I've got on my lights as well. So my total cost actually is going to be £2,139, which is pain in the ass. I'm going to tell you that's a pain in the ass. But if you're in business and you've sorted out with your accountants what your taxes are going to be, and you know what you're taking out now as a salary or dividends or however you do it with your accountant, okay? Um, I've then said, right, I'm going to invest. There's your profit and whatever, right? And I'm going to take that and I'm going to reinvest into equipment and stuff for me. And it's great. It's great to have a standing desk because when I'm working when I'm on my stepper exercising, I put on like an Amazon dinner tray over here, you know, like a lap tray here, then put my keyboard and mouse on top. And then I have another monitor over here because this desk now is electrically standing, so I hit a button and it goes up, it takes all of my monitors with it, right? So now I don't need the dinner tray. I don't need that extra monitor over there. That extra monitor did nothing but give me something to see eye level when I was standing. Now, when I stand the desk and I stand, I can see all of my monitors that I have here, the ones I prefer, because the monitor up there was an old 1080p old monitor. So I now have it's one less monitor plugged in a way, and it now means that um, it makes things easier. Because if you imagine you're standing and you're working, right, you're on this like lap tray kind of thing, right? And you got your mouse and your keyboard, but there's only so much space. So then my phone would be on this table down here, further down. So I'd have to reach down. If you had like a drink, your drink would be down. So as you're working, you're reaching down. Now, because everything is on the same level, everything is within easy reach. You know, sometimes I'd have a pen on as I'm doing something and I'm making notes, and the pen might roll off and you got to like go get a pen and whatever. Everything's now on the same level. Um, Ruben, 2,600, is it profitable? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Is it profitable for you? In fact, let me just quickly work down some of the comments. Alexandro has a Sony 8. Ooh, wow. Ooh, yes. Zeiss wide lens. Nice. I like the sound of that. Yeah, I mean, that's the other thing as well, Robert. That's the other thing as well. You can put it forward as a business expense as well. So that's the other thing as well. I think a lot of people don't always realize that. So straight away, you know, that's a huge, nice amount of business expense put in. Question coming from, yeah, no, it's not, you're not asking the wrong question. So that money, because what it does is So a lot of people now are watching YouTube on TVs, big TVs, right? And the 4K I was getting with my iPhone was good, but if I'm honest, when you play it back on a TV, like I've got an 80-inch TV, right? Super massive, huge 80-inch, right? I can notice imperfections and it bugs me a little bit. It bugs me more because I'm looking at myself and I'm going, you can spot stuff. Now, when I watch like this stuff, even the live streams, because the live chats, the quality was 1080p. So you're nowhere near 4K now. But because we're now getting 2K quality, even as a live stream, and that for anyone that appreciates streaming and buffering when you do a live chat, to get 2K quality is a big, big thing for me. So I see that as an investment. It also means that potentially collaborating other people, other businesses that might want to work with you, when they see the quality of what you're putting out, they may want to take a punt with working with you. And it just means that, I don't know, I feel like right now I recorded uh so I don't know how many of you are aware of this or not, but tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time, I don't know what that is. Well, UTC 2 p.m., right? Or is it UTC plus one? Oh, I'm getting my hours mixed up now because we're on British summertime, aren't we? We're on UTC plus one. You're gonna see what you're gonna see is the web accessibility video. So I said I would no longer do web accessibility videos because I got quite pissed off with a lot of the drama and conflict that was, and some of the accusations and crap being thrown at me because of the way I explain web accessibilities and ARIA labels and all of that bullshit. Okay. But I've decided, no, I'm going to get back in the game. So tomorrow I got web accessibility video. So I recorded that video on Friday morning. It took close to 7 hours to edit. There was that much stuff I had to cut out and chuck out and whatever and stitch together. Hey John, how you doing? So it took 7 hours, and that video comes out tomorrow, and I'm super excited about it because I hope it makes people understand what they can do in an easier, better way. And I have also acknowledged some not mistakes, but stuff where I went overboard or too in depth, and you didn't really need to know about that. So I think I'm going to handle that better. So anyway, a lot of that is coming out tomorrow. So when you see that footage on your TV, because I've tested it out, you see, when you see the jump in quality, it, oh my God, John. I mean, I'll come back on to that in a minute, John. But when you see the jump in quality, you admire and like what you've done. It's a bit like if you sorry, you're probably gonna hear, I'm just moving the mic a bit, so you might hear a little bit of noise there. Apologies for that. Um when you create something and the quality is like, wow, you love it more. And if you love it more, you kind of hope that other people will. Back to you, John. So the original video, I recorded it all the way in one go, was just under 2.5 hours. It took just over 7 hours to edit. And that's not me. So I did 3 hours editing, took a break, then I did another 2 hours, took a break, then the next day I did another two and a bit. So just over 7 hours to edit and stitch together. Because there was, and in the end, that 2.5 hours, I might be wrong. No, I'll confirm it because I've got it. I've got my timestamps written here. The total video has come to 41 minutes. 41 minutes. I've got the conclusion time, not the end time, but about 41 minutes. And that just shows 2.5 hours. What's 2.5 hours? 120, 150-ish. Did I do that right? Yeah. Roughly 150 minutes condensed down into about 40. So 110 minutes of what I recorded was rubbish. Outtakes, bloopers, said something wrong, jumping between screen, things that needed to be taken out. Ruben, may I ask a video from you? Is it possible? Depends, Ruben, on what you're asking. Depends what you're asking. Depends. I may already have one. If I already got one, I'll send you the link or put the link in here. But it all depends on what you're asking. If you ask me to do another Croco-Block video, I may decline because that they took a while, and I did it for free. And I know Croco-Block sponsor people, etc. And I'm not asking them to sponsor me because I haven't really got time. But if it's a Croco-Block video, I don't think I'll be doing another one of those for free at the moment. I hope I'm not ruining anyone's Sunday, by the way. Sunday, I tell you what, Sunday TV has got worse and worse and worse, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? It's like I was sorting some stuff out. I thought, let me just finalize and make sure the studio works with the lighting, test it out. Yep, it looks okay. And I was just waiting for this to arrive because Amazon said we're 5 stops away. So I was like, okay, it'll be here soon. Like I did a quick check on the TV guide, and I have to say, like, there wasn't anything interesting on any of this Sky channels. Nothing on Amazon, nothing on Disney, nothing anywhere. And I thought the TV was so boring tonight. I thought I can either sit here depressed, wasting my life away until I go to bed, or I just jump on a live chat. But it gives me a chance just to test out the lighting. Like for instance, I've brightened this light a bit. It's got a diffuser panel in front of it. But originally my lighting was actually something like this. But because I've got a diffuser panel which removes some of the shine I was getting, I've now upped it to about... This takes a while because I've got this dial I've got to turn at the moment, you see. This is what I love about this Godox lighting, that I have this. What are you doing here? That's too bright. About, I think about something like 75% works quite well. What's in your hair? Hair comb. So John says the challenges of being an influencer, folks. A year or so back, Imran did a couple live. Now that was interesting. Did a couple live. A couple live. Did a couple live. Now that was interesting. Which ones do you mean? Hey Eddie, how you doing? I was testing some things out, Eddie. New desk, and then with a new desk, I had to rearrange my monitors, rearrange the camera positioning, do the lighting. And then I thought, I need to test out how everything looks and, you know, the positioning. Because there's nothing worse than when tomorrow morning I may decide to record a video before I get on with some other work. There's nothing worse with when you come to record and you go, it's not right. And then before you know it, you'll lose an hour. Because one of the things about when you change the positioning of anything in your studio, there's no undo button. If you move your light, you won't get it back to where it was exactly. You're always like tweaking and looking at yourself and when you move your camera, like I have like one of these bendy, like I have these one of the arms where I can maneuver it. When you change it, you go, that's not right. And then you try and change it back. You go, oh no, I've made it worse. Oh my God, it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Okay, Ruben is saying, hold on, let me just quickly just pop it on screen, just check we can see it all. Right, I'm just going to, just bear with me a moment, everyone. I'm just going to adjust how big the chat looks because it still doesn't look right, does it? Let me go for something like that. And I'm just going to... No, it's still not working, is it? It's still not perfectly right. Just bear with me, okay? I'm just going to adjust this because I don't like how this is looking. Let me go for 1000 by 1000, 1600. So there we go. That is much better now, isn't it? There we go. That's better. So Ruben says, I saw recently the brand video. I learned a lot, but I have a huge problem. You are the best person I saw because you're juggling lost things and well planned. Best use of time. What is your problem, Ruben? Sorry, you're getting onto your problem. I just saw it. This is how slow I am. So hold. bear with me a moment, Ruben. I'll get on to what you've said in a moment. Is my child a Leicester fan? I don't think he knows. I don't think he even knows much players. He just, I don't know. He just like, I'm a Liverpool fan, so when Liverpool won the Premiership, he was like, "Yeah, I support Liverpool now," and I'm like, "You can't just jump around when a team wins something." Glory supporter. Ah, yes, John. Yes, live stream and recorded at the same time. I mean that I can do that as well, and that's what's really cool now about the quality I got. I won't get a drop. Rubin says that his problem is getting lost. No concrete work from me. How you do like Notion or something? Please, no instruction restrictions on video time, please possible. I have explained Notion before in a live chat where what I do is so I have a list, right? And it's difficult for me to do a video on it because then I'd be sharing all of my stuff, which I don't really want to do. But to help you understand, right, in Notion, I have a tab called tasks. I have a different tab for different projects. If I've got a script for a video I'm going to do where I'm just talking, I might have another tab for that. But I have one tab, the one at the top called tasks. Yes, I am. Yes, I am, Eddie. I haven't used it on a live chat for a while, and I need to bring that out. But I use that. It's just over there, just there. I use that nearly every day, all the time. Love it. Absolutely love the Remarkable Pro. It's my favorite toy, one of my favorite toys ever, right? When it comes to digital writing, you can't beat it. And you're not distracted. Because if you have an iPad, you get distracted. You do not get distracted with that. So what I was saying about Rubin is, what was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? What was I saying? Yeah, Notion, right? So I have a tab called tasks. At the very top, I have a table. That table has, in fact, I'm not going to show it to you, but just to make sure I don't miss out. So that table has got two columns. Column one is just like a description of things I want to do. Could be projects for clients, working on a website, video ideas. It can be anything, any tasks like that. The second column is called status, and that means, have I recorded it? Have I done it? Am I going to work on it on a certain time, whenever? Underneath that, I have another table. That table has two columns. Column one is 5 to 8, or 5 to 7 sometimes, 5 to 8 usually, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12, 12 to 1, and I go down in hours. So each row is like an hour. The morning one is 5 to 8 because I'm on my stepper, and it goes all the way until 4 p.m. And then I have late night as a separate row if I'm going to do any late night stuff. I like to try to stop working at 4 so I can spend time with family. And in the second column, that's where I might say record video, edit video, work on a project, do X, Y, Z. And every morning, I will change that because that is what I'm doing today. So every morning at 5 a.m., I'll have checked my emails, whatever, seen what I said I was going to work on today, and then I will change my order. What am I going to do today? Have I got a dentist appointment at 2 p.m.? Right, make sure it's in there. So I make sure I know what I'm doing. Underneath that, I have a third table. So table number 1 is just list of tasks. Table number 2 is today from 5 a.m. until 4 p.m. What am I going to do? 5 a.m. I get up at 5 a.m., Eddie. I get up at 4:50 a.m. I feed the cats. I'm on my desk, Eddie, and then 5 to 7:30, I'll be here on my stepper. 2.5 hours on the stepper, Eddie. 2.5 hours, and I'm working. Emails, doing stuff, might be editing, might be scheduling, social media posts, sorting things out, cover art, doing stuff like that. Then at 7:30 to about 7:50, I'll be doing some weights over there. Chest, arms, whatever I want to do. Tummy exercises, abs, that. Then I'll have my shower, get ready, either to sort my son out, or by 8:30, I want to be done and dusted. Hair, teeth, clothes, wash my backside, all of that right. And then I want to be back down here at 8:30 to have my tablets because I had a heart attack 5 years ago. And then I want to jump in and crack on with the day. And that's it. That is it. I mean, look, I'll show you, Eddie, right? I'll show you. I'm gonna have to take my watch off, right? I'm gonna have to take my watch off, and I hope this will make sense. So, Eddie, anyone who has an Apple Watch, right? 333 minutes worth of activity today, and I've burnt 2,692 calories. That's active calories, right? Whoops. That's active. Ugh. Come on. Damn, I gotta log in again now because it's not on my wrist. I hate it when that happens, right? So that's active calories. I've probably burnt more in the. Oh, come on. Focus. It's because it can see my face. Damn it. Because it can see my. There, it's gone off now. Anyway, you would have seen it the first time. It shouldn't have. I kept moving it. And it shows 16 hours of stand up time in a way. So that shows how much I've been up and about today, really. Quite a lot, right? So back to Notion, right? So at the top, you have your tasks I want to do. Underneath that, my 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then underneath that, I have, okay, underneath that, I have another table. And that table goes Monday to Sunday. Monday to Sunday are the columns, right? You got loads of columns, Monday to Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday. And then down the side, I have the week. So currently I've got the 7th of the 7th, which is tomorrow, 7th of July. And you have one row per week, and it goes all the way until the 29th of September. Why? Because I then pop in there that currently I have a video, my last video in YouTube that is already uploaded is on the 15th, on the 17th of September. 17th of September. So I know that if I do no more recordings for the next 10, 11 weeks, I've got videos going out already scheduled, uploaded until the 17th of September. So every time I do a new video and I change my schedule, I put it in to let me know what's the latest one at the moment. I can also see when my haircut appointments are. I've got the haircut. It says 6 p.m. hair this Wednesday haircut appointment. When is my dentist appointment? When have I got an appointment with my son? When am I going Jersey with my son? When have I got a project coming through? When have I got a meeting? I've got a meeting with someone called Jim at 4 p.m., a consultation meeting this week. I can see that there. So I've got everything listed out. So tomorrow morning, I will boot my computer up. Tomorrow, 7th of July, there's no appointments. There's nothing major I need to get done. So I will then go, right, what was on my very first table of tasks I would like to do? Right, what am I going to do today? I know there's 2 videos I want to record. I'm going to get them done. At 2 p.m., my web accessibility video goes live. My brand new web accessibility video. Please make sure you're watching. It premieres. And because it's a premiere, live chat will be enabled. And because live chat is enabled, I want to be there. So I'm watching the same time you're watching. If anyone has any questions, positive criticism, negative criticism, they don't like it, they like it, they got a question, I will be there to answer it during the live chat. And that's it. And that's my Notion. That's my core way of how I manage and keep on top of things. And it works. It seriously works for me. Right, okay, let me just get back to some of the comments though. Lighting shadow on viewing right side. What do you mean? What do you mean I'm getting a shadow here? Yeah, I need to brighten that one up. I need to brighten that one up a bit. I don't mind a bit of a shadow there because it creates like a cinematic effect, but I need to brighten that up a little bit. Let me just check some of the comments. Oh, Mandalorian. No, Remarkable Pro. Sorry, in the back there. Sorry. I'm late on the comments. I'm really late. Really sorry, everyone. Son gets appointment. Wow. Yeah, I have to pop him in. You know, like he had a rock concert because he plays the electric bass guitar. He's still quite new on that. So I had to go and attend that. There might be like a sports day. There might be stuff to do, anything to do. So whenever I have like a consultation appointment, I know everyone's going to say, yeah, but you got Google Calendar, you got your Apple Calendar, and you got your phone. That's all great. But I want to just open up Notion and go, what are my tasks? What are my projects? What are my deliverables? What is it I want to achieve and get done? Great. What am I going to do today? Without fail, what will I get done? And when will I do it? Because if you say to yourself, I want to get this hero banner done, and you leave it loose, you'll take a long time doing it. Whereas when I work on a client's website or I'm building a brand new one or whatever, I will be like, right, 9 to 11, header, hero banner, done. No, sorry, let me rephrase that. 9 to 10, all of the settings, color branding, images, get them in, plugins, settings, whatever's, right? 10 to 12, header and hero banner, get it done. I allow myself a bit of slippage. Then I might say 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., finish off whatever's on the page kind of thing. And when you start to list things out, if you miss it or you spend too long on the hero banner, I now know, right, now I have to make a choice. Do I do X, Y, Z? Because the mistake you can make is if you only ever intended to do the hero banner today and then you take longer or not too long, if you then go, well, I wasn't going to do the header template until tomorrow, rather than doing it today because you had time, you might go, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. It's all right. I said it's a 10-day project, so yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. Whereas I'm more like, no, if I can get it done today, I'll get it done so that I can get it to the client quicker and then they can get it back to me with sign off quicker. So even though I said it's a 10-day project, it means I get extra buffer time. The quicker you get things done, the more buffer time you get. And if a client is a bit late, so I said to the client, I'll get you the homepage Monday night. You need to have it reviewed within 24 hours, so Tuesday night. If I get it done Monday afternoon, they still have until Tuesday night. So now they've got even longer. But you need to be a bit flexible. But I would always say, yeah, that it's okay to deliver things early with your extra buffer time, okay? Because believe me, when you get to the final sign off, you either have one or two changes or you have 50 changes. There was one website I built for a company in America that did window cleaning, right? I built their website. They signed off, signed off, signed off, signed off. Everything was brilliant. We got to the final day. Then there was like 20, 30 changes. There was a lot of changes. Now, luckily, a lot of those changes did not take long. They were literally like 1-2 minute jobs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But when I got that list, I was like, oh my God. Because before I read it, I thought, what? You signed everything off. Now you've sat down with your other team members. And that's something that I did make clear to them. And I don't think they fully understood it. And now I make it even more crystal clear with my clients is who is signing off. Because if you're working with a business and you're working with your liaison person, whoever, it might be the client or someone else in the team, and they go, yeah, I'll sign off. That's okay if they are the signer. Or are they just like, has it been delegated to them? And then after they've agreed to it, someone else then has to sign off what they signed off. Hey, Rashad. So you got to think about who is the ultimate sign off. So I always like to say, is the sign off by committee or is the sign off, one form of authority, one form of truth? Who is it? And if it is one form of truth, then I prefer them to sign off the homepage before I do anything else. I don't want to build the homepage in a certain brand layout, portfolio, whatever, and you agree to it. And then when it does, we go through the entire build and we get to the end, and then you share it with the CEO. And the CEO goes, no, let's change it. Because do I charge you more for that now? And normally I would, but sometimes it can be really brutally annoying. Luckily for this window cleaning company, it was just cases of like, can we change the naming? Can we swap out the image here? Or can we maybe just, I don't know, add a shadow effect and stuff like that? So little things like that, I don't mind. But that's just something you do want to take into account. Michael, what do you use as a CRM solution? to help organize your project's clients. I used to use I used to use Trello. Then I moved on to Atarim. But I've actually gone out of Atarim now, and I now just use Notion. I just use Notion because what's really good about using Notion is um, you can set up a tab for, let's call it window cleaning, right? You set up a tab for window cleaning, right? And I can share that with the client. So I can say to them, can you drop an image in or can you drop your text in? And they will have access to that Notion, just that one, just that task or tab. And they can drop comments in and everything is in one place, like your history, right? If you do things via email, they get lost. Even with Atrim, I felt like there was a lot going on, even though it is really, really good. And the beauty about me doing things in Notion is, like I said, 5 a.m., I come in, I open up my Notion, I got my tasks. Then I can see each project. I can see if anything's been added or taken away. If I can see now that the client has gone and said, we need to redo the contact page because our details have changed, or we now are using social media a bit more and we want to add them in and whatever. The task is there, the tab. I can jump back into my other task one and I can go, right, onto my list, got to sort out the contact page, XYZ. And then I go to my 5 a.m. to 4 p.m. hourly list, right? And I go, right, am I going to do it today? Yeah, I will do it today. 3 p.m. to 4 p.m., I'm going to make a start. And then late night, I might just double check it or close it off or fine tune it or whatever. Do you get what I mean? And if I decide I'll do it, but I'm not doing it until Saturday, then I go to my third table, which is Monday to Sunday, and I go, right, Saturday, um, project 5, 6, whatever number you've given it, okay? Because I always replace the numbers, so which project relates to what, and I'll go contact page or whatever. So you know what you're doing, and it works, and it's free. I'm not using the pro version of Notion. I'm not using a premium tool because often I feel like premium tools give you way more than you'll ever use. They give you all of these extra features, right? And you're like, are you really ever going to use them? You know? Um, Rashad used to use an app called the Hit List. The Hit List. I've never heard of that. I've never heard of that, Rashad, by the way. How have all of your weekends gone so far? It doesn't have to be work related. Anyone done anything super fun? Anyone done anything super fun? I am worried that when we go Jersey towards the end of July, that it's going to be super hot. I want it to be nice, but I also want it to be breezy nice, like a soft breeze. I don't want the kind of breeze where my hair's flying around everywhere, right? Just a soft breeze. But I hope it's not like dead air. When it's still, it's burning hot and the air is like still, flat. But it's not really flat because whenever you look to the horizon, when you get like that whole like little bounce haze in the sky. I never fully understand why that happens, to be honest. And I am tired. I am tired. Rashad's renovating his house. You do the designing, plans, and assist in the construction. Nice one. I'm struggling with ideas for my the first lounge. Like, I really want to do something great with it. I really love like the rustic look. Like, when you go into some cafes or restaurants and they have this wonderful rustic vibe look. I would love to do something like that, but I don't think it would work. Sometimes some layouts you have in restaurants and cafes, you go in and it's like, oh, this is so nice. It works for what they're doing in their environment. But when you try and replicate or you think, how could I make that work in my house? It kind of goes, no, it wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. How could I make that work? It just wouldn't work. Hey, Nikos, how you doing? How you doing? You know what I mean, Rashad? That kind of look. It's because it's one of those looks where I would love to, like, sit in there pop your camera up and sometimes do the odd video in that kind of lovely, because these environments like this, office, right, studio, they feel too formal. No matter how much you like put like action figures or Transformer or Star Wars stuff, or fancy cuddly toys and lampshades and lovely chairs and stuff like that, it always feels too formal, too strict. And I you want that really relaxed kind of vibe. Do you know what I mean? Sayed said, is creating web apps good? Is there demand for them these days? Well, depends on what you're building, Sayed. It's a really good question, but it very much depends on what the web app is for. If it's a dating app, it's probably in demand. If it's an app to crop your photos, probably not so much, because a lot of people will have that on their phone already. So it very much depends on what the web app is, really. What is it? I mean, for when it comes to websites, okay, I don't think you need a web app. I think they're overrated. If we're talking about websites now, because you don't need to get a version on the Apple Store or anything. And if you build your website well and it's mobile responsive, that's it. And if someone really likes the website, there'll be an option somewhere at the bottom where they can add it as a favorite or bookmark it or add it to their homepage. That's what people do now. Yeah. But but spending time on a dedicated web app, I think that's long gone. I think that for me was a gimmick. So when people started doing that, loads of people started doing it, and then they realized, oh no, my desktop has got like 50 icons for this page and that page and that page. We all did it. Do you remember? Our desktop would have a Facebook icon and a Twitter icon, and other icons and blah blah blah. And then you realize, no, I don't need that. I mean, I've got a Mac, right? So I have my dock at the bottom. But obviously in the Mac, you still have folders and files on your desktop too. But I try to keep that as limited as possible. But at the bottom of my Mac dock, I do have some icons, but would I add a web page to there? There isn't a single web page in my dock. There isn't even a single web page on my desktop either. Because I actually find that if I want to go to Facebook, I just type Facebook and then go to it. If I want to go to Twitter, I just type Twitter. I feel like in the old days, we wanted an icon, but do you know what? I find it's not going to hurt my fingertips to just type Facebook and go there. Even when I want to go to like learn.web Squadron, I have got a favorite for it. So when I boot up Google, there's like a bookmark for it so I can click it. So yeah, I have got that in a way, but that's just a bookmark. So my opinion is that web apps are for web pages. I think it's a gimmick that's gone there. It's done. It's done and dusted. It was a big thing. How many of you here like to have like icons on your desktop for every web page you go to regularly? Because I like my desktop to be as clean as possible. I remember like in the NHS, I used to hate it when you'd go over to someone's desk and their desktop was littered with like Word documents and Excel spreadsheets and PowerPoints. And I'd be like, why are you not sticking these in folders? Oh, I like to save it onto my hard drive. But everything was on the desktop, like littered. And you sort of think, what is going on here? And then loads of screenshots. And you think, this is stupid. Or they save a link. They visited a website for the NHS for diagnosis procedure codes. And then not only have they bookmarked it, they've then saved the shortcut to their desktop. So it's full of desktop shortcuts as well. And it's like, this is ridiculous. Sort it out. Or have a folder called Word document. But even then I would say stick it in the relevant folder for that project, And that's the other thing that irritated me when people saved on their desktop and they're part of the team. Then someone in the team would go, "Have you got that file?" Yeah, yeah, it's in a folder. Where? Which folder? Oh, sorry, it's on my hard drive. Well, how are they meant to access it? If you drop dead, no one, they might not even know where you stuck the file. Really used to get on my nerves, that did. Um, Robert says, not a single shortcut on my computer desktop and nothing out of place on my physical desktop. Everything is clean. Yep, exactly. Totally agree. I like things to be clean. Eddie uses Tab Extend, a Chrome extension for my bookmarks. Ah, I've never used that. I take it you like it then because you still got it there, Eddie. I'm guessing you still like it, so I might have a quick look at that. I mean, I think wait, most people will have got to a point in their life where they did used to add shortcuts and files to their desktop because they thought it was easier. And then you'll get to a point when you realize it's just clunky, messy. And that's when you then go, right, get rid of everything. Get it out. Delete it. Delete it from the recycled bin. Reboot to make sure it's definitely purged the cache as well. You just hate it. You know, and it's like my desk as well. You know, I like to, my desk does get cluttered. And then every couple of days I go, right, get rid of that, put that away, tidy this up. Why is this here? I mean, this desk is 2 meters wide, right? It's 2 meters wide, 80 centimeters width or depth or width, really. So the monitors are nicely placed, so the monitors aren't too close. Camera is positioned nicely away. And I've got, you know, my Mac. This is how far my Mac is. I have to stretch like this to touch my Mac. My hand is now on the Mac Mini, right, on the middle of it. So I have to stretch. If I sit there, if I do this with my hand, I'm not touching it right now. But it means I've got this nice estate area for typing, for pop my drink, plate of food or whatever. But I like space. I like to breathe. I don't like scrunched up layouts. I don't like that. I don't like it if you go somewhere. One of my pet hates is when you go somewhere and it's super busy. If it's super busy, you got to deal with it. But I don't like being in places where it's very, very crowded. I hate that whole having to shuffle past and, you know, shoulder nudges into you, whatever. Or I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that. John uses Fairy every day. Raycast on Mac is a must-have. Eddie, installing, deinstalling immediately. I think Power Tools does the same thing on PC. Yeah, I mean, AppSumo, Eddie. I have heard of it, though, Tab Extend, and that might have been where I've heard of it then. I might have seen it there at some point. So tomorrow, you're going to see... Well, a video comes out in 4 hours' time, which is where I very quickly explain why I am restarting or why I'm going to be doing some web accessibility videos again, right? So you will see me explaining that because I feel like some people are going to question, you said you were done with web accessibility. Why are you going back into it? Just because I feel like, you know, why should I be afraid of doing web accessibility videos? I shouldn't be afraid. So, and when I stopped doing it, it wasn't because I was afraid. It was just because I felt like, I don't know, I feel like I'm creating more bad than good. But then I thought, well, the only people who are judging me to be bad are people who don't like what I'm doing. And I make a point in the video you'll see in 4 hours time that if you see a video, let me try and give you a good example that will make sense. Let me give you an example that will make sense, right? If okay, yeah, right. So let's say you do a video recording with your iPhone, right? You use your iPhone to do a video recording, okay? And that video recording is 10 minutes long, and you now want to transfer that to your computer. In the old days, you just connected a cable and you went via iTunes. It just doesn't work like that anymore. You can either use AirPlay, and then it has to prepare it, which can take 5 minutes, and then it might take 3 or 4 minutes to send it via AirPlay. you can connect it via cable. And then you got to go to the Photos app. And then you got to, again, it does its preparation and does it there. But you got to be careful because sometimes it might delete it from here as well. And if it hasn't sent it over properly, that can be a pain. But there's many ways to do it. Someone could do a video showing how to AirPlay a video from an iPhone to your Mac, right? You will watch that video and you may say the way they explained that wasn't the right way. Or they told you that you have to do X, Y, Z. And you're like, no, you don't need to do X, Y, Z. X is enough. There was no need to do Y and Z. But that person believed and said you need to do X, Y, Z. What you should do if you are prepared to do it is record your own video. You don't have to mention that person that did X, Y, Z. You don't even have to say, I saw someone, a complete twat, who said do X, Y, Z and whatever, right? You don't need to do any of that. What you could do is your own video. So you go, hey, have you got photos like iPhone, whatever, you know, blah, blah, blah. Do this, and you'll get this stuff done. There have been times where I've done a video, like I think when the Mega Menu came out, I did a video, Paul did a video, Jeffrey did a video, a few others did a video. We all had a different take, different view. Did any of us in any of those videos say, Paul said this, Jeffrey said that? I can't even remember what we said in our videos, but you don't do that. And a lot of professionals, a lot of people don't do that. Now, if you're collaborating with someone and you have an agreement or you have a pre-agreement with them, you might go, hey, Jeffrey did a video on version 4 and he talked about the class system. Well, I would probably approach it differently. So this is what Jeffrey did, but I would go about it with X, Y, Z. Now, if you have a pre-agreement and you're friendly with one another and they knew I was going to do that and I, you know, whatever, a collaborative agreement, you know, whatever, that's okay. But if I suddenly was like, Jeffrey did this, but I would have done it this way because you know what? Jeffrey doesn't understand this. And by the way, nothing Jeffrey did was wrong. I'm just using it as an example. Jeffrey has every right to be annoyed with me about that. Why did I bring Jeffrey into the equation? Why did I mention him? You know, if I feel like there's a different way to do the class system, just do your own bloody video. And that is the point I'm making. And in the video that comes out in 3 hours and 45 minutes, you will see me succinctly and nicely explain that. But at 2 p.m. UTC +1, if I've got the time right, you can see it in the YouTube channel Premiere, right? The ultimate web accessibility, what did I call it? Walkthrough, masterclass, workshop. I think you're going to dig it. If you don't dig it, I don't know what to say. But you should go have a look at it. You should go have a look at it, all right? Because I'm not covering everything to do with web accessibility because some stuff you know already, right? But what I am doing is explaining and clarifying when do you or do you not use ARIA labels, background images, stuff like that. Skip to content. I've got a code snippet to help you out because there is a problem with elemental skip to content and I sort that out. Accordions. There's something extra I'm going to tell you about that you really should take note of. So there's some extra stuff I'm giving you in there that I think is going to really help you out. Cosmin, 7 p.m. USA East Coast time. I don't know. Because it's do you know something? I'm having a bit of a memory block here. Yeah, are we still on BS? Are we still on UTC 1? Are we on UTC +1? John, are we on UTC +1? I'm getting my times all mixed up right now. So right now we're on BST, which is UTC +1. So the video will come out at 14:00, which is UTC +1, or 2 p.m. UTC +1, or 2 p.m. BST, just to make clear. Do you know something? In my car, I never change the time. So the time in my car is 1 hour. I don't think about this. It's 1 hour back, 1 hour forward. Oh, whatever. Because I'm always like, oh, don't worry. Come October, the time will sort itself out to be that time. Why have I gone for that time? I'll tell you why, John. I'll tell you why. So the reason I went for 2 p.m. is because at that time it's no good question, Eddie. Good question. So 2 p.m. BST world map. I need to do a world map thing. I need to see a world map now. So Europe will be yeah, I think you're right, 3 p.m. So the reason I did that is because let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. So what that then means is, oh, this is stupid. I've gone to a calendar clock thing and it's absolutely stupid right now. Okay, right. So how do I do this? How do I do this? This is really stupid now. I can't do it. So I, I wanted it to be, how am I going to get this right? So New York, what time is it in New York right now? It's what about 3:20-ish, nearly 3:20, right? So 5 hours behind. So technically, when it's 2 p.m. in the UK here, it will be 9 a.m. in New York. So it'll be 9 a.m. in New York, right? Because you're 5 hours before us. And that just means that it's a reasonable time for North America because my first biggest audience is North America. So it's not, I mean, for Los Angeles, it will be 8 hours. So that would make it 9, 8, so 6. So it's 6 in the morning for Los Angeles, 9 in the Raheem, don't lean on the desk like that. It'll be 9. He leans on the desk too much when he does that. I keep telling him stop doing that. It'll be 9 a.m. For New York and I think 6 a.m. for Los Angeles. So there's reasonable times. If I released a video at midnight or earlier, I just feel like I want to, because it's a premiere. And when you do a YouTube premiere, you have live chat enabled for premieres. So I'll be there responding to whatever comes in or as best as I can. So I wanted to get as big of a audience as possible. So we get responses like real-time conversation. And if I did it at 12 or earlier, I always find that the American audience, they're just waking up sometimes. So it's not always fair. So I feel like I wanted to get as a broad range of audience. Does that make sense, John? But that was the only reason. That was the only reason. So it's just 2 p.m. Are you going to tell me there's something happening at 2 p.m. that I'm not actually aware of? If so, honestly, that was not my intention. But is there anything else happening at 2 p.m. tomorrow that maybe has made you go, why are you doing that? If there isn't, fine. But if there is, please do let me know. But there's no agenda. There's no motive. It literally was just like, well, because my son will be home at 3:30 tomorrow from school. So I didn't want to do it later because I might get distracted by him. So the video is about 41 minutes long. So 2 p.m. to 2:41, we'll have a pretty good live chat. Oh, really? Hold on. Are you sure he's on tomorrow? I've subscribed to Jeffrey. Where is he? I can't see. Oh, no, Jeffrey's on at 1 p.m. Jeffrey's on at 1 p.m. So I'm on at 2 p.m. That's actually a good point because he doesn't always, his sometimes are over an hour, aren't they? That does complicate. Oh dear, oh dear. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep it at 2 p.m. No, I'm going to keep it on 2 p.m. Yeah, his is on 1 p.m. My time, 1 p.m. But because I'm going at 2 p.m., it'll be 1 hour afterwards. So that should be okay. The one thing I will say, though, and this is nothing against Jeffrey or Dave or Wiki Design or Paul or Reno or anyone else, okay, is that lately I have noticed that sometimes um, you want to go live, but someone else is already live or they're about to go live as well. And this is why I've now started thinking that I can either, sorry, I keep looking at my screen over here. I keep looking at, how to explain this? I keep worrying that I'm going to be going live at the same time as other people. And about the last 3 or 4 weeks, I was going to go live, but Reno was live. And then I was going to go live another day, and Jeffrey was live. Then I was going to go live another day, and Mark and Barbara from Wiki Design were live. And when I start going, oh, I don't want to go live if they're already live or doing something. And then this week, I kind of thought, no, if I want to go live, I should just go live. If people want to watch it, they'll watch it. If they don't watch it because they're watching someone else, then they should continue watching whatever they're watching. So it's one of those things where you kind of just have to go with your gut, because I find with me that it becomes difficult for me to pre-plan and say, I'm going to go live tomorrow at 2 p.m. because tomorrow my day could change, and what becomes urgent or a priority or things I've got to sort out can change, which is why I don't always like to do premieres. But tomorrow I've got to stick to as much as possible, which I will do anyway. So if I decide, right, on Wednesday, I'm going to go live at 1:30 p.m., I'm going to go live at 1:30 p.m. Maybe I've finished a project and some other stuff, and I go, you know what? I want to go live. I'll just go live. And I feel like, yeah. I mean, I do. Hey, Andrew, I do check. So normally what I do is I go on and I see if someone is live or not. But I've come to this like part of my head now where I'm like, why should you let that stop you? Why should you let that stop you? It's a bit like football matches, right? You might have 3 or 4 football matches that are on at 3 p.m. And you could have a family where one team supports Liverpool, one supports Arsenal, one supports Chelsea, one supports Man U, Man City, whatever. It happens. Clashes happen, right? So I say that if you want to go live, just go live. That's just kind of what you got to do. Hey, Mark, it's all right. I'm not wearing my shorts today, Mark, so you don't have to worry. But that's what I would say. So, for instance, let's say, as an example, right? Paul releases a video at 2 p.m. tomorrow, right? And then I've just finished doing a video and I really want to get it out. Do I wait or do I just release? I would just go and release. And that's really what you got to do. And that's like with any form of social media. If someone regularly posts at a certain time or day, don't let that stop you doing what you want to do. Because you have to remember that if you always try to accommodate everyone, you get nothing done. You get absolutely nothing done, kind of thing. John, please tell me that you use WhatsApp to check who is going on live and when. We used to. We don't do that. Not really now. Not really now. We don't really do that now. Eddie says Anne has a web accessibility webinar on July 21. Was supposed to be last week, but she postponed. I didn't know that. I haven't subscribed to her channel, so I wasn't actually aware of that at all. Seriously, I was not aware of that at all. I'm assuming it was about web accessibility, because it is web accessibility, but I have no idea what the content of what she was doing. And I'm pretty sure it will be different to... Hang on, I've just noticed something on here. I just need to add to my watch later list. So I just noticed a couple of videos I want to make sure I watch. And that's the other great... Oh, here's another good one as well. Oh, that's a good video. Sometimes you see some really good videos. So what I do is in the morning when I wake up at 5 a.m., right? And I am sorting out my task list and emails and whatever, I will have like just to the left of me over here, I'll have YouTube videos playing. So it'll be stuff like, it might be a video about WordPress, it might be a video about productivity, it might be a video about how to manage your time. I always like to, I don't always learn, but I like to sometimes listen in. It's like, imagine you're in a library and you're doing your own work, or and there's someone just having a little conversation, something, and you can't help but overhear it. You might take some interest and join in. So I tend to like to um do stuff like that. Sandeep, you are the best in WordPress Elemental. Beers, throw some light roadmap. Huh? What? Throw some light roadmap for AI in Elemental. I have got a video I need to record about AI, but to be honest, if you go to my channel, go to the code snippet playlist, you're gonna find hundreds of code snippets to get more out of WordPress, WooCommerce, Elemental, and advanced custom fields as well. So you will find loads of stuff in there. Eddie accepted the invite. I take it this was for Anne. I want to know her better. Huh? You want to know Anne better? I'm guessing you mean you want to understand web accessibility, but you might just want to know Anne better as well. Anne's a good person. You know, Anne is a good person. You know, and I can assure you now that whenever I've spoken about getting some heat from web accessibility people, she's not one of them. She sometimes does correct me. She sometimes does say, "What about thinking about X, Y, Z as well?" But she's a good person, kind of thing, and she's not. Um, you know, she's not the sort of she's not any one person who does what I call like snidey, you know, back. I don't want to say backstabbing, but you know, like behind your back, like remarks and comments like that. But I do recommend you do watch the web accessibility video. And if you don't watch it live when the premiere goes out, and it is recorded, it's not a live, it's a premiere, but I will be there for the live chat. But if you do go and watch it, sorry, if you don't watch it live when it premieres, watch it afterwards, because I think there's loads of good tips in there. To be honest though, right, okay, me and Mark share very similar views. So I've done lots of stuff on web accessibility. I've done far more on page speed performance. But if I'm going to be really, really honest, I couldn't give two shits about page speed performance. And when it comes to web accessibility, I'll do what I got to do as part of good practice and what I would normally do. So I kind of feel like I'm already towing the line anyway. And I'll do the best I can for page speed performance as well. But you know what? At the end of the day, if your website needs to look a certain way and it works and it loads up fine on the desktop and the iPad and a laptop and it works fine on your mobile and you're outside and you're just about getting 3G and it loads up fine. And if someone goes, yeah, but it's a bit slow when I'm outside on 3G, you go to any website, go to Apple, go to any website. It's probably the same speed. In fact, they're probably slower. You know why? Because they've got much more heftier DOM. I swear, go and load up some very well-known websites and look at how much megabytes there are to be loaded and how much DOM there is. You'll fall off your chair, let alone their page speed score. But you know what? They don't care. You know why? People want to use the website. Now, unless you're really popular, you want to make sure your website's not too slow and you got, you know, flash of unstyled content and cumulative layout shifts so bad you feel like you're on the event horizon of a black hole because everything is being sucked about everywhere, right? You don't want any of that. Or you don't want too much of that. Or you don't want it to be noticeable. But deep down, as long as your website works and your page speed's okay, because right, okay, I know I've done videos going, hey, you could get 99%, 95%, 85%. That's to help you out because it is a bit of an ego thing, right? There is something we have to admit to is that, you know, some people, you know, like unless your website is hitting 90, 95, they feel uneasy. Oh, I have failed, you know? So it is very much of an ego thing, you know, how fast can your car go kind of thing, right? You know, how far can you run and all of that. But as long as the website works and you are reasonable with your colors when it comes to accessibility and you've done enough, that is all that matters, in my opinion. And I know people are going to say, yeah, but you know, if your website isn't fully web accessible, you're going to lose a customer or a client, or someone may never revisit your website. Now, unless that person was going to spend $1 million on buying my courses, what have I missed out on? Like, seriously, what have I missed out on? Right? If my website sells wheelchairs or braille documents, let's just say, right? Or hearing devices, right? Let's just say, okay? And my website does not tick every box for web accessibility, it is going to hurt you. But if I'm selling a course or whatever I'm selling, okay, is it the end of the day? I mean, are you going to tell me that Amazon is pure web accessible? Are you going to tell me eBay is pure web accessible? Is Etsy pure web accessible? You're probably going to say, yes, it is. And I'll be like, oh, shit, yeah, you're right. But is it? Is it? Right? You know, I could go into a shop, okay, and I don't like the look of the seats or whatever. I mean, I wouldn't really, I wouldn't care, but let's just say I didn't. No, let's say they were like ridden with woodworm. I'd go to another shop, right? Go to another shop kind of thing. Yeah? Dare I say, yeah, well, Mark, I know what you've got on your VR headsets, right? You know, you got your gloves and your hands on, you know, and you're, you know, climbing a mountain. If it works, who cares about the internals? I agree with that, but I also feel like we need to respect the fact that we should make our websites as accessible as much as we can, as responsive as we can, as high performing as we can. But we can't do everything. And sometimes you got to look at the brief of what you have to deliver, right? You got to look at the brief of what you get. I get terribly motion sick. Ah, got it, Mark. So that means you don't like to be on top of the world, the mountain. You know what I mean? You prefer to be, I get it. You prefer to be lower down. Rashad, which client cares, knows about web accessibility? Well, some of them will care. But again, I don't say it in tomorrow's video, but I did make a point of it 4 months ago. If you or your client does not have more than 10 employees and they are not earning 2 million euros, oh, hold on. Yeah, it's 2 million euros per year. You don't have to be full on web accessible. Let me give you an example, right? There's a company and they are now earning over 2 million euro. And they provide concrete. It's in England. I'm not going to name the location, but they're in England and they are very big company. And their turnover, net profit is now over 2 million euro, right? And they provide concrete to, you know, homes, renovations, building extension work, right? They're now worried that they got to be web accessible. From their point of view, there is a chance that someone may come to their website who has a visual impairment and may be using a screen reader. So they need to take it into account. But if you're a company, like how many people here, web designers, right? How many of your clients or yourself are hitting 2 million? Right, so you've got to have two of these requirements. Number one, you must be employing over 10 people and you must have over 2 million euros turnover or net, right? It's the European Accessibility Act, Rashad. Oh, come on, Rashad, keep up, mate. The European Accessibility Act and also some of the laws in America as well. The American Disability Act. So when you think about it, okay, Exactly, Mark. There will be some we know, but the thing, and this is a really good thing, Mark. You know too, right? Now let's look at the percentage or the rough percentage, right, of all the websites you've worked on, are working on, or part of, right? What is that as a percent? And that says a lot about, and I'm not trying to be critical here, okay? I want to be really careful that I don't come across as as like create an issue or drama or conflict, right? Okay. I don't want to create drama here, but um a lot of the web accessibility experts talk about all the things you got to do, but they very conveniently don't sometimes they do very quickly, but they don't always tell you that you don't need to do it unless you've got over 10 employees and your net turnover is 2 million euros. Do you get what I mean? Because if they tell you that at the start, doesn't that change the equation or the algorithm for how much you pop in? Do you get what I mean? Because I think that was one of the major cruxes of why when I did my web accessibility video, I did a big video. It's about an hour long, 40 minutes, an hour long maybe, right? And I made a point of that. And I believe that is what broke the camel's back. That's what I believe, because I don't think a lot of them liked it, that I made a real point of that, about the fact that you don't have to be compliant. That does not mean you ignore people. We should be inclusive. We should try to help people. But I feel that if you just go at it from one, like if you try to force people to follow and do one thing without letting them know that there is a junction that you can get off at, that's wrong. That is that is real, not fraud, misleading, because you want them to go down that road, but you don't want them to know that it's actually okay with certain criteria for you to take that junction over there, because you want them to go there. And that's the point that I feel like, you know. So yeah, look at this. Like, the thing is though, Rashad, right, is that if you're building, so if you're a web designer or whatever, and you build a website for someone who's based in Europe or America, and they are earning over 2 million euro, and they do have more than 10 employees, and they get hit by a fine, you'll be responsible because you were the web designer. So you got to watch out for that, and you don't want that bad press. John says he's working with a company in the energy sector. Exactly. But when you look at it as a percentage, John, of all the websites you built, is it a big percentage, medium, or a small percentage? Sandeep says, I want to deliver a website to my clients very quickly with the help of some prompts, getting an AI agent to solve some issues. Can I do it? Well, yes and no. It depends. It depends. I mean, do you need to use an AI agent? Could you just use Grok 3, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini? Could you just do that? Could you just do that? Sandeep says that, the clients don't have much of a budget. That's their problem at the end of the day. We have to deliver a basic website very quickly. I want AI to do most of the work. Okay, great. Use AI. And then what happens when the client wants to make a change? How quick can you make that change? What if it does something that you now realize you've lost control over? Maybe it gives you a bit of code and you just stick it in. Vibe coding is dangerous. Vibe coding means I just take what I get and stick it in and hope it works. I like to inspect, investigate, and probe what I'm doing a bit more. Cosmin, anyone here carry web designer, snafu insurance? Well, I think the insurance with the web designer very much depends on the type of project and what is at risk. But I don't. But it is something you can consider. Hold on, Raheem's. What's up, Raheem? Why? Come over here. What's up? What are you waiting for?
Um, on Roblox,
Yeah.
I was
Oh
just
God, he's
to
talking
pay
about
for
Roblox.
50 Robux
No, you
just to
can't. You can't
get a
have them.
private server.
No, no private server. You've asked me
Okay.
this question before, and I've said no.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sure. So why'd you keep asking for? Raheem, Raheem, tomorrow morning, shower shampoo. All right.
Sure.
You get 50p added to your bank balance if you do that. I if he does his chores, I give him 50p, or I add it to his little credit card thingy-mijgy. Trust me, it works. You know, it might mean that I lose out on £4 a day, but you know what? It
What's that
works.
weird
Trust me, it
line?
works. That line is no one can see it. I'll show you, mate. I'll show you what that line. Raheem's asking what that line is, so I'm going to just pop up Russia. What? Look at this bit over here, Raheem. Right? When I click that, can you see what it does? It puts it on
Mm.
screen, the comment, so other people can now see it as well. Yeah. All right. Skedaddle. Skedaddle out of here. Skedaddly. Right. Cool. Um, Raheem does have his own YouTube channel, but he doesn't really do much on it. Like,
I can't.
what do you mean you can't?
No comment.
He said no comment. I've told him, right, yeah, he could do stuff on there, like, he plays guitar. He's
Could I?
he's starting to become really good on his piano.
You should send a video to your YouTube channel.
No, get out of here.
Oh.
Get out of here, man.
You're
But
on
I've
the
told
beach.
him, start doing them. And even though you're still, like some he does well, some he kind of makes the odd mistake. And I said to him, just put them out there. As you learn, people will see you
It's
improve.
hard to record.
It's not hard to record. I'll put the camera on. You'll have the microphone in. I'll leave the room and you just go and record. And when it's done, I'll take it and stick it online. Job
Oh
done.
yeah. See ya.
Oh man. I know he can still hear me, but pain in the ass. Anyway, okay, he's coming running back now. Damn, he's heard me. He's heard me. He's coming. Is your room tidy?
Um.
Did you finish your pot noodles?
Yeah.
Did you finish your pot noodles?
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't lean on the
So, do I
table.
get 50p added?
No, because you owe me 50p because I gave you.
Okay, but I tidied
Because
my
that's
room.
cancelled. No, 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 no. Your room was tidy this morning. You can't get double payment for the same
My
thing.
messy room.
Well then get out of here. Get out of here. Right, okay. Rubin, how are you doing? How you doing? Good to see you here, by the way. Donald says that he's got a piece in his contract and nothing can be guaranteed to be error free, won't be responsible for any incurred losses. I'll tell you what, I get hired sometimes to do a makeover on someone's website. Or not a makeover, sorry, make someone's website improve the performance score. Or to no, yeah, to improve the performance score or to help problem solve a problem, but I make clear to them that during the one-to-one consultation, there is no guarantee that the score will shoot up. There's a very good chance it will improve. In fact, every time I've worked on any one site, it always goes up, but there's no guarantee it will jump up to 99% because I did not create that website, right? It's a legacy website. There could be crap and shit inside of there and codes and methodologies and how much can I change without wrecking the website or whatever. And the same goes with so there was one person, they contacted me, emailed me, and they sent me a massive email. I'm having this problem. I really could do with your help. I know you could work this out. I was like, yeah, sure, but I'm not going to study the problem until I'm hired. £300 for a 1 hour consultation, and then we can work it through. Okay, but can you definitely do it? No, I'm not going to spend time looking at your problem, maybe half an hour of my life, coming to the conclusion of whether I can or not. Because you know what? And I said to them, look, if you hire out a plumber, there might be a call out charge, whether they can fix it or not. If you want to discuss something with a lawyer, you're probably going to have to pay for an appointment. And all they're going to do in that appointment is take your details. They're not even going to really look at your problem. That is what happens. And I'm not going to chase you. I don't care if we work. I mean, I say it in a much nicer way, but I don't really care if we work together or not. Want to work with me? You pay for my time and we have a look at it. 9 times out of 10, I will sort the problem out and I'll find a way around it or I'll know what was wrong. But I'm not going to look at your problem for free, or I'm not going to promise you that your score will jump up. Yeah, but you did a video where you got the score to 100. That was a tutorial, right? And, oh, sorry, I realized the comment is still on the screen there. Sorry, Donald's comment. You know, but you want me to work on your website, which had 5 other developers. Some of them were your friend from Fiverr, Upwork. You were using a Visual Composer, then you switched to WP Bakery, and then you went on to Elementor or something else. You were using Elementor free, and you had 10 extra Elementor add-ons, and then you got Elementor Pro, but the add-ons are still on there. You don't know which plugins are being used where on what page. You've got some code snippets, you've got a child theme, and one of your developers did some stuff to the child theme, but you don't know what was done and what not. And you want someone to come in and boost your score, and you've got WP Rocket and Perf Matters and other stuff on there as well. But you want your score to boost up. That's yeah. I will work on it, but I'm not guaranteeing jack shit. Okay? I am not guaranteeing the world. You know? Ruben says, I'm a super mini influencer. I get these messages. I can't imagine. Ruben, I'm telling you now, right, Ruben? I reckon every day, and I'm not including messages in forums, I'm talking about emails, private DMs, right? So it might be a DM on LinkedIn. A lot of them are usually our Facebook, though, by the way, or emails, right? I get over 100 a day. That's how many I get. In fact, I haven't even included the ones I get on YouTube. So I might do a video on YouTube about Mega Menu. And then someone will put a comment in about WooCommerce checkout. Nothing to do with the Mega Menu video. You will have seen, some of you may have seen this. Like, I've done a video, and then someone will put a comment in, and it's nothing to do with the video. And it's like, how do I sort this problem out? Sometimes I've already done a video and I just send them the video. I go, here, watch this, right? Or I email them. I go, hey, just watch that, whatever, right? Or I might, if I feel like, okay, I think I can give you a quick answer in a minute or two. I'll quickly give you what I think is wrong or whatever. If I need to study it, process it, really think about it, maybe have to use AI for it, maybe have to go and research for it, you're not getting anything from me unless you pay for my one-to-one time. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They actually get offended. Oh, but, you're a scam artist. You're a con artist. You should be doing this for free. I've been subscribed to your channel for 3 years. So what? Do you know how many people start off their emails? I bet you get this, Ruben, right? They start off their email. They go, right, I've been subscribed for 3 years. I've watched every single video of yours. I make sure I watch all of the adverts to the end, like crap you do, right? And here's my problem. Some people have sent me like a 5-10 page PDF full of something they're trying to sort out. Some of them then send me like a 10-minute Loom video. Do you really think I'm going to sit here and watch a Loom video? And I'll tell you what, I used to, just out of curiosity. The worst Loom videos were the silent ones. They don't even speak. There's no caption. There's no description. They're literally like, I've got a problem with my accordion. I think you'll know what to do. Here's a video to explain it. There's no sound. There's no description. I'm literally just watching it going, their mouse is moving around and it's like, and the way they move their mouse, it's like they don't even know where they're going. And then sometimes they go somewhere and then they accidentally click on a tab to Twitter or Facebook. So you can see their profile for about 10 seconds. It's like it takes them 10 seconds to go, oh yeah, I'm on Facebook. When they go back to where they need to go to, and they're still like, and I'm like going, where are they going? What? I don't get it. I don't get it. Which is why I'm very precious of time. Okay, everyone, look, I've been going live now for 1 hour 35. Longer than I intended. I hope I haven't destroyed your Sunday evening. If I have, I'm really sorry about it. I'm going to let you all go now. Thanks for being here. Remember, in about 3 hours' time, there's a little video coming out that explains why I am returning to do web accessibility videos. You don't have to watch it, but if you watch it, that's great. And then at 2 p.m., UTC +1, you'll see a video about the ultimate walkthrough guide on web accessibility and how to handle what was I going to say? ARIA labels and loads of other stuff as well. Okay, everyone, I'm going to jump off now. Take care. See you all soon. Bye. I'm still here because I can't click my button. Anyway, yeah, take care. Yeah, take care, Eddie. Take care, everyone that's been here. Thanks for giving up your Sundays, by the way. All right. I wasn't expecting many to be here, but I do appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. All right. I don't say it often. Okay. Subscribers, members, everyone who watches videos, comments. I try to do as best as I can to help a lot of you out. I know I use a lot of Elemental. I know people would love it if I did more bricks and breakdance and Gutenberg and stuff, but there's so much to cover off in Elemental. But I do try and mix it up with how to help run your business, productivity, code snippets to do loads of stuff, and basic, just anything I can to help you all out. But I hope I keep going on as much as I can. Take care. Go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday or get to bed. See you soon. See you tomorrow at the Web Accessibility Premiere. Take care. Bye.